Minnesota Rural Electric Association, who I work for, serves 45 distribution co-ops and the 6 generation and transmission co-ops, including GRE, that serve Minnesota. All of our cooperatives, like any cooperative model, whether it's CHS, Land O'Lakes, Ace Hardware, the Wedge Co-op, operate on these 7 cooperative principles. And you're going to see these 7 cooperative principles in everything that the co-ops do. Everything they do in their operations from day to day, their concern for their community, their concern for the member, the focus on the member, the responsiveness to the member, all comes through in these cooperative principles. We're fortunate, at least in my opinion, as a guy who really likes the cooperative model and particularly likes rural electric co-ops. This is the 2nd largest electric co-op state in the union after Texas. 45, covering 85% of the surface area of the state. We serve about 1/3 of the load in the state, just under 2 million Minnesotans. Combined, we manage 124,000 miles of line infrastructure, more than the rest of the utilities in the state combined. That's a big topic. One of the things I was asked to talk to you about tonight is challenges and opportunities. And one of the challenges is, much like David said, the challenge in the 1930s was it wasn't economic to serve rural areas. It's still a challenge economically to serve rural areas. That's 6 members or 7 members per mile line. Once you get outside of the 7-county metro area, it's about 3 members, 3 customers per mile of line. That economics, the fixed cost, the infrastructure is a challenge. Our members are predominantly residential. There's a lot of folks that I can see in this room who spend a lot of time in the energy industry. You can appreciate the difference between a utility that serves predominantly residential, relatively low use customers, members, versus a utility that serves more industrial or commercial members. So less usage per member, but the same infrastructure cost, a lot of the same infrastructure costs. We survey, among a lot of other things that we're doing to try to get member feedback, but we survey our members to ask what do they want us to focus on. Again, one of our cooperative principles and a cooperative mission is focus on the membership. What does the membership want? What do they want us to do? What do they want their utility to look like? Same thing that started it in the 30s continues today. Affordability continues to come back as a major priority for membership, reliability, safety, affordability. That said, a lot of room for innovation. As David mentioned, also members they don't just want it cheap, they also want it clean. They want choice, a lot of customer choice. And you're hearing that not just with cooperatives, but utilities across the country. That focus on membership goes beyond just providing essential electric service. That focus on membership goes to economic development. David mentioned a lot of the work that GRE is doing with revolving loan funds. Our cooperatives, our distribution cooperatives, are involved in chambers of commerce. They are economic development engines, cooperatives are as their own right, but I worked for 4 years in Oregon at a distribution co-op on the east side of Oregon, and I managed our key accounts program, which meant that I went out and talked with businesses that were thinking of expanding, thinking of starting. Those of you who are in the economic development realm know that one of the first things that a new business is interested in is, can I get electric service and what's it going to cost me? What programs and services are out there? So we were focused on that. We're always focused on that as economic development engines. And obviously, as David mentioned, a lot of our co-ops, 45 distribution co-ops, they are big economic development engines in their community. They're an anchor business in their community, and so they have a lot of interest and a lot of focus on keeping businesses and growing businesses in their community. The local decisions, the local democracy is what started electric co-ops. We had about 20 years ago in the state of Minnesota, we had about 60 co-ops, 60 distribution co-ops. We're down to 45. They've merged over the years as economies of scale have forced that a little bit. But the decisions, the local decisions, the local reaction to what is needed, the difference you would see from a co-op in northern Minnesota that has maybe predominantly seasonal load, people who have lake places and cabins, to a southern Minnesota cooperative that has predominantly agricultural load, that peaks at a different time of day, that serves a different membership base, that wants a different choice, wants different service rates, wants different policies and standards. You're going to see a difference amongst the 45 distribution co-ops, there was a co-op leader a few years back who would always bring up the line, if you've been to one co-op, you've been to one co-op. So each of them are different. Opportunities. I think this is what excites me about this industry, what excites me about cooperatives, that customer choice. We hear a lot about it in the electric utility industry today, across the country, whether it's investor-owned municipals or cooperatives. I'll argue that customer choice is what started cooperatives. They got together, they pooled their money. The electric cooperative I worked at in Oregon was the second youngest in the United States. It started in 1989 when the investor-owned decided it wasn't economical to serve the community anymore. The community got together, started a cooperative, started the model. So customer choice continues today, and we really can provide whatever our members want. Now, part of that, one of the cooperative principles in the beginning part of the slide, is education. Everyone in this room knows, I see a lot of energy experts in this room, knows this is a complex industry. And so education is part of it, helping people understand about what are the trade-offs, what do we get, what do we want, what does it look like, what does cleaner look like, what does cheaper look like, what does more reliable look like? And that's something that co-ops can provide. So I'm really excited about the opportunities that we have in that area, and I'm looking forward to the panel discussion, hear what everyone else has to say. Thank you.